Oh, okay.
They're gonna make you eat. Are you hungry? Hey everybody, good morning. I'm taking over the live today. How is everybody today? It's been a while and I haven't done a live solo in a while longer. So happy Thursday, everybody. This is the last day of July. Tomorrow is August 1st. Where has this year gone? That's what I want to know. It's, my gosh, we're in the 8th month. Well, almost in the 8th month. That's just insane. But yeah, it's been a long time. Larry and I have been talking about this, and you know, I said I was going to come on today, and Larry's like, well, you just want to run it? I said, yeah, no problem. No problem. So I'm just going to say good morning. We're going to start that off. Say good morning to everybody. And we're going to talk food and struggles and victories and all the things. Well, I'm in charge today. So I'm just going to throw some people up on the screen and greet y'all. So anyway, good morning. Good morning. If you're just joining us, it is all me. No Larry today. No Larry today. He's doing great though. But Fat Pat, the Mad Carney, how you doing today? I hope all is well. Oh, brutal workout from Ryan. He said, brutal workout this AM. Things are going well. Ready for alternate day fasting starting tomorrow. Have a great day, Larry. He is with us believers. Amen and amen to that. Cindy, good morning, good morning. So glad I made it to the live. I love listening and learning about what we all go through with trying to lose weight. God bless and keep strong. Amen to that, Miss Cindy. Lisa, good morning. And I got Jessica in the house. Hello, Jessica Wolf. Good morning. It's actually cooled off in Oklahoma, so I had a nice walk this morning. Good for you. Can't tell you how thankful I am for these morning meetings. Woke up this morning having really bad cravings. Yeah, that's something that we can definitely discuss. It's cooled off here in Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. That's my backyard. I'm here, Gidget. I hope you're doing well. And Amber. Good morning, Amber. I saw your video last night for the jalapeno stuffed cream cheese. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't seen it, it looks absolutely amazing. Go check out Amber's channel. And she's got a great, and not only that, the video itself. Amber, you did a really good job on that. That was so good. So good morning, all. Are we seeing Cassie today? Yes. Hope everyone is having a meat-fueled and blessed day. I'll be starting a fat fast tomorrow. What's everyone's plans for 8/1? Yeah, I'll get into what my plans are, which really they're kind of loose. I'm not exactly sure. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, let me, I'll tell you all what I've been up to the last week or so and go over vacation and how it impacted me. And yeah, so it was definitely something. That vacation and the mindset. And I know I'm not the only one who's had this mindset. So we're just going to chit chat a little bit, just say hello, and then let's start to talking. So Deb Hammer, hi, how are you? It's great to see you too. Keto in the midst. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Maureen. I hope you're having a great day. And yes, it has cooled off here as well. So I think tomorrow it's going to be our last 90-something degree day. And then we're getting down into the 80s and 70s. I am so excited for that. It's not even funny because it's been hot all over the country, right? Probably all over the world if I had to guess. But good morning, Connie K. I hope you're doing great. I really need to get in touch with you. And with the weather starting to cool down, we need to start going out for a walk. Need to start walking again. Thank you, Gidget. I feel pretty good. Okay. Hello, Sarah. Cassie, newish viewer here, but have gone back and watched a lot of your stuff. Great to see you. Well, hello. Sarah, I've got a long story. I plan to do a video within the next week. That's what I've been saying for months. I'm going to do this video. I've actually started 3 or 4 times, and I have the footage in my phone of me starting to try and make videos again. It's been really difficult for me ever since, that grandbaby. It's brought things into perspective for me. But yeah, it's been something. It's been something. Hello, John and No Deck. No Deck Carnivore. Good morning. I'm a relatively new listener. I would like to fast with you. How do you do it? Well, Penny, I'm not the fasting queen. I can do it. It's been a little while. In fact, the other night, I finally made it to going to bed without munching, and that has been really hard. I went to bed hungry, and that's something I haven't done in a long time. But how do you fast? I mean, you just don't eat. Basically, Larry's going to do alternate day fasting. So for 24 hours, I'm not sure if he's planning to do like almost 36, if he's going to go well into the next day fasting and then just have a small window for eating. I'm not exactly sure. Excuse me. But, yeah. So, you don't eat. You have coffee with no cream in order to do a proper fast. Coffee without cream or sweeteners, no like sweetened element or any electrolytes. It's just water and coffee. You can do raw electrolytes. And then you don't eat, and then you just eat again. Now, if you're going to go into a really long fast, extended, we're talking days on end, your refeeding is going to be a little bit different. But if you're just going to do it every other day, you just don't eat one day. So I hope that was somewhat helpful. But hello, cowgirl. Thank you. It's good to see y'all. And we got Nancy and Gretchen. Okay. Here's a question from Miss Gretchen. She said, I got my dehydrator yesterday. Yay! I made some before my trip. And as soon as I get my beef jerky gun, I will make ground beef jerky. How do I store it? Can it be frozen? I don't plan on many leftovers. No, right? So, throughout the course of the last year or so, I've really learned a lot with the jerky game. So the last batch I made, I did it at 167 for about 6 hours. And I think it turned out really well. The texture was a little more tough. It wasn't so gooey. And I do love that jerky gun. It makes life a whole lot easier. Little bit of a cleanup, but how do I store it? I just make sure that it's well done. I keep it in the fridge. I'll leave it on the countertop for a couple of days, and I get those little the silicone dioxide packets. The little things that they put in the packages of food to help absorb moisture, and that will help. So, well, hello, Jenna. Oh, you're at a farmer's market. I hope you find some good stuff. I love farmer's markets. And it's just about that time of year. Cool down in Michigan. Very cool, Gretchen. Very cool. The vacation. Y'all know. Well, many of you do. And for those of you who don't, I went to Florida last week. And I did not do good. Actually, I've not been doing so good since September. Some of you know that. It's been very slow. What turned out to be like a pebble of a snowball just kept rolling downhill, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until the crescendo. This is something that I definitely wanted to talk about, like the vacation and that mindset. It says, vacations hit me hard. Hershey, Pennsylvania 3 weeks ago, New York, New Jersey, Philly last week, but was able to get right back on track when I got home, but it is still a struggle. It is a struggle until it's not, and then until it is again. That's one thing I learned. I thought I had it all figured out this time last year. Gosh, I wish I would have pulled up that picture. I'll do that in my video, the difference to how I look, feel, and weigh, the clothes that I can and cannot wear anymore. I had to spend more money and bought new clothes because that slow slip, that slippery slopes in September, it's been almost a year, and I packed some weight on. Here we go. And this is what we're talking about. Hi, Donna. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. What have your struggles and triggers been? I know that dairy is a big one for me also. Also, how is Rosie? Rosie is as bratty as ever. That's a real tough one. I was doing great until I wasn't. It took one meal thinking that I've got this. I got this one meal. It's no problem. Hop back on, which I did. I hopped right back on. But then it was like a week or so later. And then 2-3 weeks later, I'd have a little something, a little more than I should. Get those keto tortillas, things like that, you know. And then it was just, and then the holidays came up. And I did really well. Where I was working at the time, you know, they were always bringing in snacks and treats for everybody. Just straight up garbage food. And I said no. I said no until Christmas. And then I said yes. But then I got back on it, did okay, right? And then just slowly but surely, it was a lot of that. Back and forth. Take 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 1 step forward, 4 steps back. You know, we all know that drill. I mean, that's why we're all here, right? Because for many of us, that seems to be the norm. I had a great run for about 1.5 years. I never thought I would go back to eating processed garbage food. Well, yeah, it happens. It happens. And there was actually, I can't pull it up. There was a comment that I'd like to address. And I guess maybe I'll do that in my video. But, Papa Frank, what'd you do with Larry? I stuffed him in a box. I was hoping to see you both. I believe Larry's doing members only tonight, and maybe I'll hop on. I've got some things to do. I return to work tomorrow. Boo-hoo. But yeah, maybe I'll see you later. I think here that this is true too. I think if I did keto, I'd eat too many carbs, and that has been the biggest problem since February. I decided to go Ketovore, right? For my job, I wanted to add carbs. I wanted to add fiber. So I'll allow myself those foods because for me, having so much surgery on my intestines and my colon, it doesn't work out well. You know, the bowel movements come very fast without warning. And I'm almost, not literally, but I am chained to a table for an hour and I can't continually ask them. So that was my decision to go keto. And I haven't been tracking. I've just been eating low carb food. Well, I have begun tracking now. So we'll see how it goes. This is what did I started on Sunday. And Sunday it was well over 100 carbs, and I've been hovering around the 50 carb mark. That was my intention, was to do 50 carbs a day, and yeah, it didn't work out so well. Yes, Deb, vacations are brutal. So hard to leave that tasty food alone. You know, we only ate out 3 times, and every other meal that we had, I cooked. And it was better than anything that we had in the restaurant. No, it wasn't carnivore foods, but we had filet and shrimp one day, and I made baked potato along with some sourdough garlic bread. So I kept it to like whole foods, better foods, right? But I definitely, I did not moderate. I didn't even think twice. And I went to Buc-ee's. I have pictures. I don't know if y'all want to see them, I'll pull them up. That's fine. I know, Papa Frank, you know, it's not just about that. It had a lot to do also with the birth of our daughter, or our granddaughter. Our daughter gave birth to our first granddaughter, and she doesn't want her on social media. We started posting a few pictures right after she was born, and then they were like, whoa, hold up. They pumped the brakes. They said, you know, we really don't want her on social media. There are a lot of weirdos out there. And doggone it, you know what? They're right. So I think that definitely affected my mindset there. And also, it's not about the struggle. I want to be more of an inspiration than anything. And it just didn't feel right to continually get in front of the screen. I'm like, I have nothing to report other than I'm not doing so great. And I was working. So between work and then seeing the baby and then taking time for myself, I didn't have a lot of time left over. And for a while, it was either I was in front of the camera, I was helping edit a video. A lot of times I would do the rough edits, and then Larry would clean it up and do everything else, right? So I was in front of the camera doing some editing, creating content for the other two platforms, not just YouTube. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, which our Facebook community is where I've been active most in all of social media. Like my own personal profile, I've barely been on it. I haven't posted in a long time. I just find that I was too entrenched with digital technology. And it was just time to step away. And it's been really nice. I've missed y'all. Don't think for a second that I haven't, because I really have. I don't know. I needed this time. And I'm slowly but surely beginning to get back into, the groove of being in front of the camera. Believe it or not, sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get me in front of the camera. And Larry, he's been really good about it, and he's been very patient with me. Hey, you want to jump in on a live? Hey, you ready to shoot that video? No, I'm not. So, and a lot of it too is just, I don't know, people suck. A lot of people suck. And some of the comments, and I should be used to this by now, and I should learn to just brush it off, but being a woman, the woman that I am, that doesn't exactly work out. I can't just brush things off. But I'm over some of the real nasty comments. I'm over some of the people who think that they know it all. It's like, you don't. Because if we follow that protocol, which I can guarantee every person in this live right now has followed the carnivore diet. They followed it, and for whatever reason, you trip up, you slip up, you try, you start, you get back over again, because at one point you had experienced great results. Just like myself, I was down 98 pounds. I put on about 45 of those pounds back on, so I put half my weight back on over the course of a few months. But I'm still fighting. It's like trying to start like a pull lawnmower, right? And you didn't prime it. It's just you're gonna pull it, and it's the engine is not gonna start. It's not gonna turn. You do it again, start over, or you get it started and then it bogs down, right? That's what I feel like, and that's how I feel that since last September, that's the way it's been. It's like, okay, you got to get back on. And it just is more and more difficult to get back on. And then, of course, leading up to vacation, this is the mindset I wanted to talk about. Leading up to vacation, I'm like, well, you're not going to do so great on vacation. You've already decided you're going to enjoy, and I did. I enjoyed the food. Now, 2 years ago when I went to Florida, I was great. I did fantastic. This year, it's much different. In spite of I'm never going to go back to that way of eating. Never. I would have almost bet my life on it. I almost felt like some of the dogmatic carnivores because I was in such a good space. I felt so healthy. My body was small, my confidence was up. And, here we are again. Thankfully, I didn't gain it all, and I'm back to doing what I should be doing better. But I've lost since Sunday. I'm down 8 pounds. So that's all water weight. I'm actually lower than where I started right before going on vacation. So, I'd say that the ball is starting to roll and I'm doing pretty good. But, let's go ahead and get into we're just going to talk about struggles today, I guess, right? Struggles and victories. Let's talk about those. I've struggled. Been doing this carnivore thing for almost 5 years. 5 years. And I don't have it. I thought I did, and I don't. I lost my grip, and I tumbled down a rabbit hole and tried to dig my way out. Okay. Yes. And this is the thing of it right here. So, Cave Woman Diet says, the health has to be the goal for me. As if I eat crap again, my health will drop badly with my autoimmune. If I did keto, the carbs would have to be 15 or lower for me to get my addiction will be back. And I know, I hear you. And that's the thing of it. That is what is so insane about all of this is caveman or cavewoman. I'm not sure how much you know, and we do have a few new listeners, and I had cancer. This is 9 years. Actually, 9 years ago, I was dealing with all of that right now. It's September 2nd, and I had surgery on the 6th. So 9 years ago, I had cancer. I did not go through any treatment other than I decided to go food, which I did juicing and vegan. And then I found keto and Dr. Barry with the Carnivore and watched Chris Moore's Spa. But you would think that my health, thinking, and I even had a scare with some wonky blood work saying that cancer possibly had returned. And you would think that that would be more than enough for me. It wasn't. Oh, I'm ashamed of how I ate on vacation. I am so ashamed. I mean, I was just like a constant dump truck, just dumping this food down my throat. You know, we had a full kitchen, so I did all the cooking, and you know, I don't know. It is not easy. So she says we are addicts, and I think the sooner we realize we're addicted to carbs, the sooner we can keep them out for life. But it's not easy at all. No, it's not even in the slightest. It's a simple diet, but it is not easy. So Camille, hello. She says, hello, Cassie and everyone. Good to see you, Cassie. I think of you often because I make your chuck roast recipe every other week. Hugs. Oh, man. I've made so many chuck roasts. I think I lost count after about 50. Amber and Dan. My daughter feels the same way about me posting the grands on Facebook. So it's hard for me not to brag about my babies, but I respect her choice. And there are some weirdos out there. Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, every grandparent thinks their grandbaby's the cutest, right? So of course I think Charlotte's the cutest, and I want to share her with the world, her cute, adorable little chubby cheeks and just our moments, and I can't do that. And like I said, it definitely gave me pause as to what I need to do, you know. Cave woman diet, and I have 100 pounds still to lose, so it's going to be a long road. You know what? I'm telling you. I can see how for many people it would be easy to lose only 40, only 50 pounds. And not when I say only, I don't mean that. But when you're like 120, it's like, oh, 50, I can do that. Because I've done it in like 4 months. No problem. But if that's all you have to lose, you know, the diet's going to be a lot simpler for you. I don't know, maybe not. I guess to each their own addiction, their own pathway, I guess you could say. Everybody does it a little bit differently. All right. John J. Connellan. Stuff that I could cheat with, I do not trust, for I do not know the ingredients. I do not know how to make those cheat foods, which makes it easier to avoid cheat foods. Yeah, you know, that's one thing about like a lot of these recipes, and I'm just as guilty, right? I mean, a lot of the recipes that I made, and it almost seemed like I jumped on the bandwagon. You know, I think the first carnivore influencer that I'd seen that made recipes was Carnivore Chef. So for me, he was the first. But before then, I had received Maria Emmerich's book from my son-in-law as a gift, and I never really opened the pages. But, you know, you look at a lot of these recipes, and they're for people who are eating carnivore, and they're just trying to maintain, I guess, or just try to do a little something different, who haven't exactly, those people who can trust themselves, right? Because I don't know about you, but if I have an oopsie cake, you know, with a whipped cream frosting and some flavors, maybe even some artificial sweetener. I learned the first time I made that, and that was about 3 years ago, I can't stop. There is no stopping, not even on carnivore approved or Ketovore approved foods. Oh, you're bad. Oh my gosh. All right. So I just had a special delivery. It's
just a splash.
Just a splash of heavy cream. It's a iced Americano. Anyway. Yeah. So that's one thing. Getting back to the foods, you know, are they really going to do you any good? At first I thought maybe they could. And then I found that my binge eating is still in full force. If there's food that tastes really good and it's more than just like, say, a steak, if my mindset isn't, let me hurry up and eat so I can fuel my body, and then I can go on with the rest of my afternoon or whatever it is. It was like that, and that was amazing. Food wasn't even a second thought. It was just fuel. That was it. But now it's like, it's for pleasure. It's for, well, I need this to get me through. Food is, man, it's something else. It's unlike any other drug out there in the world. But anyway, I probably babble a lot, guys. And if I do, just say, Cass, stop babbling. Move on. You talk too much. Yes, Robin. That is a fact. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And one thing I can say about the proper human diet, particularly carnivore, is it's given me the fight. Fight that I really didn't have before. I would go on a diet, lose some weight for, do it for maybe 2 months, and then go right back to wherever I was. One slip up. But carnivore has really taught me a lot about the fight that I have inside of me. One I didn't think I had. I always thought I was powerless. And I still feel that way in a sort of, but I am fighting. So here I am. What's today? Thursday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days. And I'm doing a lot better. I am doing really good. In fact, what I like to call the great drain, it hit day 2. And oh my gosh, the phrase, I was peeing like a racehorse. Yep. That's exactly how it's going down. And I lost a lot of the inflammation in my face already. 8 pounds is significant just in a handful of days. It's crazy. Alfie! How are you? You're doggone right. We can do it. Even if we have setbacks, we can do it. You got this. 100 pounds to lose. That's about, well, no, I have about 80. I'm way far away from my goal. My goal, I was only 20 some pounds away from like 18. I can't remember. I was 276, 278. I think I was 276. So I had 14 pounds, 16 pounds to lose. And that's where I was in my goal. And then we had that anniversary meal in September. And that's when the decline started and the weight increased. Yeah. Oh, let's celebrate this victory, okay? I mean, we're always talking about falling down and slipping, and that's what a lot of this is. Here we go. Alfie boy. Hey, everyone, down 36 pounds now. Feeling great. Sorry I missed the live yesterday. Congratulations. That's awesome. Once you start hitting those double digits of weight loss and it's more than just water weight and you're putting in the work, yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. Absolutely. Yeah, and everybody else is congratulating you. Okay. Gidget says, I want to do a video about how food addiction is like alcoholism. I feel like Carrie went to AA, got clean sober, and came back and told everyone in the group they are failures. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is like alcoholism, but what's so bad about it is people don't need alcohol to survive. People need food. And especially, like we were talking about this the other day. Do you remember growing up? I remember this. I was born in 72. So being a kid, going to McDonald's was a treat. Going out to a restaurant was an even bigger treat. We always ate from home. No, it wasn't the best things because we really didn't know much about diet back then. So I remember being excited when going to McDonald's, now, or having even a TV dinner in the oven because it had the metal tray. It's just so different now. You go into just about any city, you cross any border, anywhere, any city, any state, and every state is going to look like a copy, right? There's your Starbucks, your McDonald's, Burger King, and whatever local, like we've got Zaxby's. It's very popular down here. Out west, they've got In-N-Out, right? And now we've got Whataburger. But you go into every city, which is in, maybe a 20-mile radius or so, And there's going to be at least 10 of those restaurants, and many of them are open till midnight, all night, late night, whatever. So it's just, it's hard for us. It wasn't like that growing up. And then as I became an adult, as I moved out on my own, now I can eat whatever I want. I can bring whatever I want into my kitchen. I can go out to fast food. I can go to any restaurant. And I did. And I don't know. It's different than alcohol, right? The odds are stacked against us. And not only is there more access to fast food and whatnot, the food itself has been cheapened. It's not quality. And quite honestly, I don't even know what is quality anymore. I know our best shot is at keeping contaminants out of our system is probably carnivore. I know it's definitely going to keep the water retention out. Unless you're consuming a bunch of dairy. And dairy, that's another one. They're corrupting the dairy industry. And they probably have been. But now since carnivore is such a big thing, it really is this thing that is gaining momentum, and people are learning about it, and they're learning, especially like if you're on carnivore and you've never slipped up, and my God, I hope everybody who starts carnivore never slips up, not once, because you're going to feel your best, you're going to look your best, you're going to do your best, you're going to want to be your best. But yeah, getting back to the AA, and it's different. It's just different. You need food. And food is so bad now, just like anything. Anyway. Melissa says, enjoying some bacon and eggs while listening. Very good. I think that's one of the perfect meals, right? Bacon and eggs. You can't ever go wrong. Never, ever. As I always say, it's a struggle. Weak fail from time to time. My rules for myself are simple. Yeah, exactly. Maybe you were talking to somebody else, but it made sense to me. Gidget. I need to lose 90 pounds. Day 28 to 30 seems to be the time I get impatient. If I do not see results, that I want to start to change my attitude. These meetings help. You know, and you're right about that. I feel you, because I know Larry's said this before about when you're dieting, right? When you're restricting your diet to carnivore, really whatever it is, if you're restricting your diet that hard, and then every day, it seems like 2 or 3 days when you're cheating, it just goes by so quickly, and the weight comes on so quickly. Well, time slows down, your weight loss slows down. You know, there's something to that. But yeah, you got this. You got this. We're going to do it. We're just going to keep going until we can't go anymore. No matter how good or how bad we do, that's it. I start off each and every day. I'm going to do better today. With the exception of vacation. That all went out the window, you know. Dang, guys, it was, oh my gosh, it was something else. And here I am babbling again. And Alfie Boy says, keep babbling. And we're here for it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Boom. So if I just kept the keto desserts alone, I am better off. Right. Like I said, when I found the oopsie cake, and I've done many different variations. I've even made like a layered oopsie cake, cheesecake thing, which is great for the holidays and great when you're sharing. It's not great to make and then you just eat it like you would normally eat any other dessert. Well, if you just put a whole cake in front of me, I'm just going to sit there and fork it out throughout the day. It might even be gone within a couple hours if it makes it that long. But yeah, and so it spills over into carnivore / ketovore, because you still allow those things. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just the enjoyment that we get out of it. So you just want more and more and more. Because I can only eat so much steak. I can only eat so many beef patties or chicken soup, yeah, it's great, but yeah, those keto desserts, that's what I was saying, like these carnivore recipes, that they're great. They are great if you can control it. If you can control yourself. If you can't, it's best to stay away, which I cannot. I can't. Amen, Sharon. It's true. It is so true. There's no such thing as, oh, just give me one bite. Oh, give me just two. Well, yeah, that might be okay for that day or that night, but something's going to spark in my brain, and the wheels are going to start turning. Like I've even used the term, I'm an adult, I can eat what I want, recently. So, and that's something that, that was vacation. And I didn't get footage of any of the food that I ate. Well, a few things, but I thought, nah, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, one thing about vacation though is I moved a lot. We did a lot of walking. We walked along the beach. So Larry didn't add all the pictures that I asked. So, oh well, it is what it is. But I'll if you guys don't mind, I'll show you a little bit of this. This is really cool. Now I'm going to show this to you. Now there should be a video here. It is not. That's just a picture. Okay. Thanks, Larry. I know you're listening. Okay, so we were just outside of Cape Canaveral. We stayed in Cocoa Beach. So there's rocket launches that go off there, and I saw two that I had seen. They weren't exactly planned. Well, the one I didn't even know about. It was pretty incredible. I was sitting outside. It was our last day there. It was like 3 a.m, and I hear this rumbling. I'm like, no way. So I get up, and I did take video. But one other thing I learned about my phone is my phone takes amazing pictures. Great pictures at night. And this was, so that's like the after blast. You could see that that's the rocket going there and it's moving out. It was pretty incredible. If you look at the ocean, you could see how that light from the vapor trail, I guess you could say, contrail, it was reflecting on the ocean. And then that's what it looked like a little later. This is just before sunrise, and then it just starts to dissipate. But I have video on here. We saw, so that is a trail of a loggerhead turtle on her way to make her nest. And then our very last day, the same day as the launch, that I happened to see the launch, or our very last day, we happened to catch baby turtles hatching, and they made their way to the ocean. I got all kinds of footage of that. I thought this is so cool. That was awesome. I think that was my favorite part about it. Aside from hitting a jackpot, we did go on a casino cruise, and that was actually on their dime. They gave me $10 in free cash, and that was a $300 win. And then I won on bingo. We signed up for bingo too. So that was pretty cool. That was really a lot of fun, and I fully enjoyed it. Oh, Larry's in the house. Is he defending himself? Oh. Best morning meeting so far. I don't know. I think you're a little more organized. I'm kind of everywhere, right? So Tammy says, good morning. Traveling today. I stopped at Buc-ee's for breakfast. Smoked pork tenderloin. Ooh, now I had their brisket. I was very impressed by that. Buc-ee's is a monstrosity of a gas station. I've never been. We passed them up a handful of times, heading back north, and just never stopped. I stopped 3 different locations. Once on the way up and twice on the way back. And I sat there and I watched, and it's a literal constant flow of cars going into this place. So if you've never been to a Buc-ee's, it's take your checkbook with you because yeah, it's something to see. Cave Woman Diet. These meetings really help a lot. I'm glad you think so. I think so too. Not everybody's like us. Not everybody can understand the struggles that we have. Now, a lot of people may have been overweight and unhealthy for a good majority of their lives, but for whatever reason, there's a percentage of us who, in spite of your mindset, in spite of your efforts and how well you did, like in my case and in Larry's case, how many times have we lost weight, significant amount of weight, and then went back? It's not because, it's just fun to feel like garbage, which for some reason, I don't know why people think that. But yeah, I don't know. The meetings, that they are helpful. And I peek in on the meetings on occasion. If I have to work, I'll come in on my break. But yeah, work has been another issue too. So Elfie Boy, yes, I'm not, even though I've thought about it. So I might. Okay, let me just not say that I'm not. But yeah, Larry is starting his ADF tomorrow, August 1st. Sheila from Ohio. Today I weighed and gained 2 pounds and almost lost my mind. No cheats, working out, ugh. I know it happens, but I really hate to see the scale go up. I hear you. I am one of those people who is very well obsessed with the numbers on the scale, especially like this first week. And I've had to learn to put that thing away because it does me no good. Like you, I get very frustrated, but I keep plugging along. But you don't need that aggravation. The whole diet, right? Restrictive dieting is difficult enough as it is. So, and if you're working out, pardon me, I don't know how long you've been working out. They've said it, people have said it before. I'll say it, muscle weighs more than fat. And you're probably building muscle. Or, just the fluid exchange that you have every single day. You take fluid in, you expel it. Some of it you hold on to. And depends on, what you ate the day before too. Your body will also, you talked about working out, it will retain water while you're working out to help heal. And electrolytes will definitely help you get rid of that. I don't know if you're taking them or if you're just drinking salt or whatever. You need something like that. Yeah. What's happening, Janelle? She says, I had to close the door to keto treats a couple of years ago too. Because dang it, I could never just eat one. And the sweeteners caused all kinds of issues. Yeah, I know that. I remember practically eating a full box of the Atkins treats. And yeah, I was on the toilet for quite some time. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, and no doubt Carnivore has some great advice for you, Sheila. Measurements. Just get one of those tape measures and there you go. Your clothes are also a great indicator of weight loss. So, yeah, I was. And it was really, really cool. I enjoyed it. The 2 rocket launches that I saw were pretty incredible, especially the one at it was 5 a.m. or whatever. Just to see that afterburner. And they dropped something. Now, something that went into the ocean. I didn't catch any of that because my camera does not take good nighttime video, but great pictures, which I realized after the fact. Aaron says, I've tried all sorts of keto treats, even though they still aren't best for you. I would rather have a real cheat treat. Enjoy, move on. But it is very dangerous. Control is key. Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I like to tell myself, sometimes I need a little bit of a treat. And a lot of times it doesn't affect me other than the initial overeating, like the fried chicken recipe. Oh my gosh, I ate so much. Would I have ate that much if it were a steak? Definitely not. But, and that's the problem. Right there. That's our problem. And it's only on our tongue for a few minutes, right? And you feel the effects for days, hours, whatever. Yeah. Shell Bell. I did my Oh, weigh-in. Okay. I'm thinking either Wii, the Nintendo Wii, or Wisconsin. I did my weigh-in this morning and now 11 pounds away from leaving the 200-pound mark onto my next goal. Today is 385th day, 1 year. Any 1 year, any for my boyfriend with lots of healing. Oh, anniversary. That's not a Y. Congratulations. That's awesome. I remember the first time I was in an extended fast when I first got under 200 pounds. That was my reason for extending the fast to get to 199. And as soon as I did, I went 9 days. And yeah. And then I was under 200 again at 176. And here I am again, well over 200. I've got a ways to go. But got to start day one, not one day, right? So good for you. Congratulations. And let's see. I'm going to go down a little bit. I'm just going to reply or just highlight Alfie's reply to Jessica because he's doing so great. He says, thank you. It's thanks to everyone that I'm still doing it. I honestly don't think I would have kept doing it without this community. Yeah, I hear you. This community has given me so much success, and the failures are all on me, right? But yeah, this community has really been a game changer for me and for Larry, because I really don't know, because we've learned a lot from our community, like more so than any of the doctors, because we have conversations, real conversations, and people have great loads of advice, and this advice comes from experience and just some of the advice we receive are from medical professionals, Okay, hello Ryan. Ryan says, so happy you are fighting on. I'm convinced I learned a lot in the flubs, absolutely. But it takes at least 2 days to get back on track after the flubs. Yeah, for sure. And for some, it takes a lot longer. Like I've even went like upwards to 2 weeks before I felt confident that I wasn't going to slide back. Maybe even a little longer. But, every day you fight, you're 1 day better. You're not going in the opposite direction. So good morning, Sandy. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Sam. Sam says, good morning, Larry, Cassie, and CQ crew. Hi, Cassie. What's your favorite salt? Smoked alderwood, smoked applewood, smoked cherrywood, Redmond's, Celtic, Maldon's, etc. I don't know. I just like a standard sea salt. I've not the smoked salt. I do have a smoked salt from Redmond's. I've been wanting to try the Maldon's and the Celtic. I like either just a pink Himalayan salt or just a sea salt. I really don't have a preference. I'm not crazy about the iodized salt, but when in a pinch that would do too. I'm not too much of a salt snob, but my coffee I am. So at the Cape, you saw the booster separate. Oh, okay. On a drone ship at the ocean, the booster is what basically pushes it up and across. Okay, the second stage lights. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense. I'm not like a rocket nerd or anything. I just thought it was really cool being so close to it. Like even when we took our casino cruise, we were even closer yet because we were out on the ocean and I could see it. So, I have a weakness for, I think that's a taco, right? I think it's part of my FF. I'll make cheese shells. So I'll be adding dairy back in and see how my body reacts to it. Just got to take it 1 day at a time. Hot dog, you were so right about that. Gidget. This has been my biggest struggle, is the cream. Not so much the cheese. I have a fridge full of cheese. And unless I get into I don't know. I'm usually okay with the cheese. I won't just go in there and pick at it. You know what I mean? Just cube and just bite it or anything like that. But this right here, now that's a fairly light color. So one thing I really do like about the iced Americanos is you really need very little cream, or cold brew for that matter. But yeah, you know, I feel inflamed. I guarantee this has stopped me from reaching my goal weight more than I could possibly even convey. But I also wonder that if I didn't have this, would I still be here? I mean, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Sandy D, I somehow gained 5 pounds this week. I came back from Hawaii, but today I'm back down. Walked 2 days in a row trying to get on track. Good for you. Climbing back up on that horse, you know, you don't want to. And that's where my mindset was for so long. I'm like, gosh, I just don't want to get in that restrictive diet anymore. So sick and tired of it. I've been doing this for 4 years. You know, these are the excuses I'm making up in my head. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? We can't continue eating. I couldn't continue buying boxes of Little Debbie snack cakes and devouring it in one day, right along with a bag of chips. And then the pizza that I ordered stuffed so much that I could feel the food up to here, right? That part of my life, well, I would have liked to have said it was over, but that was vacation. That was vacation because I'm like, it's the last hurrah. I'm on vacation and it's the last hurrah. So I'm just going to go down that road. And I did. I definitely did. But today's a new day, right? Got back at it. 8 pounds in a handful of days is pretty crazy. And yeah. Janelle says, today is 6 years since Mom and I started this journey. She asked me to help her with her diet. She thought it was salt that was the problem, but it was the carbs. What a ride it's been. Yeah, one thing too about getting into this community, whether it's keto or just low carb, right? Ketovore or carnivore, any of that, you really learn a lot about food and what it's done, you know. I still try and figure a way to, in my mind, right? I'm like, there's got to be a way to be able to do restrictive standard American diet, but with clean ingredients. But really, especially here in America, what is clean anymore? Everything is so tainted. Flour. They bleach the flour and then add nutrients to it, synthetic nutrients. It's like, why are we even doing that? It makes no sense. It makes 0 sense to me. Malden smoked salt is really good. Even my oldest daughter, who hates smoked things, said it was really good. I'll have to try that. I hear it's a little pricey. Okay. Yes, me too. I have the Redmond Chef Blend and I like it. What is your favorite butter? Kerrygold, Kirkland, grass-fed, or regular salted? I guess I could go with a Kerrygold. I like butter. All butter. You know, if it's real butter, if it's the real deal, I like it. One thing I learned, like with any recipe and any food, the butter really does matter what you're adding. I made the chicken liver pate. If you guys haven't tried that, it's really good. I recommend trying it. But I can't recall what I used in the video, because if it's on sale, I buy it, you know, especially nowadays. Anybody else? I mean, am I the only one alone in this? Do you see butter on sale anymore? I think that's another issue with the whole carnivore thing, that and the heavy cream. You see a lot more of that, but butter is almost never on sale. And if I do see it, I pick it up. But I like the Kerrygold, and I'm pretty sure that's what I used in the pate. And then I bought that Amish roll. You know which one I'm talking about? It's like the package like so, and it says Amish butter. And I made the pate later on for my family, and it didn't come out nearly as good. Not even close. But I do like the Kirkland brand too. Well, Alfie Boy, it was the first time I'd ever seen it too, and it was actually really cool. But what was more cool was seeing the turtles, the baby turtles. I wish I had that video, Larry. No, I'm kidding. I wish I had that video to show you. That was really cool. Maybe I'll put out, do a short of the turtles because it was awesome. And their struggle, seeing these little turtles moving their flippers, right? And they make it to the ocean, and their struggle reminded me of our struggle because they're going into the ocean, right? And they're doing great, and they finally touch the water, and then in comes a big wave, knocks them back further. You know, they're back on the shore again. You know, so they get up, they're tumbling, right? And they get up and they go back in it, and eventually, you know, the ocean takes them away. But that's kind of like how I felt. I thought that would probably be a pretty good analytical or analogy video, you know, comparing the baby turtle struggles going into the ocean to, you know, the struggles of some carnivores. John Gogahan. Hello. I'm late, very late, probably just in time to say goodbye. No, not quite. I got a few more minutes. I got a little gas in the tank. But, yeah. Jessica, I was getting so tired of people telling me that I'll die if I stop eating fruits, vegetables, and grains before I found this community. Yeah, you know, you're right. I mean, nobody's going to die. And there are still people, even in my family, that doesn't want to buy into the processed food hype, the Frankenfood. They don't want to buy into it. Or sunscreen. They're still slathering that sunscreen on. And I thought, gosh, guys, I don't know. There's enough chemicals that we have to fight as it is. It's in the soil. It's in the air. It's in the water, right? Pollution. It's like, why are we adding more to it? The sun is not our enemy like they claim. You go back to when sunscreen was invented, and then you see the cases of skin cancer just skyrocket. You can't, they talk about the science, right? Trust the science on this one. Sam says, yes, thank you, Crew and Cassie. You are the only YouTube channel I really hear discuss the problem of heavy whipping cream. I rewatch all your cream videos and wonder how it seems high fat, low carb, but so addictive. Right. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, it's not just heavy cream. This is a Frankenfood heavy cream because they're adding carrageenan, especially when you go to, now you can buy the heavy cream with just gelling gum. I've yet to find heavy cream, just milk and cream, right? Now you can find that in the half and half. That's a little bit different, but yet there are more carbs because there's more lactose. But yeah, the heavy cream, I remember seeing Thomas DeLauer's video on that and on carrageenan, and I thought, oh my gosh, I drink so much of this. You would think that it's good. It comes from an animal, right? It's animal based. It's high fat, low carb. It should be fine, but really it's not. So I'm just trying to find ways to reduce, because I'm at the point in my head now. It's like, or the place in my life. I'm like, am I really going to be able to give this up? I've tried so many times, the coffee and the cream, and I don't know. When I have given it up, I felt amazing. Where'd I go? Almost 3 months, no coffee. It was definitely 50 days, I think. No caffeine, other than some Excedrin for the first 3-4 days, week, whatever. And I eliminated dairy. I never felt better in my life, but man, it was terrible. It was terrible, although I felt great, you know. My tongue, it rules me. It definitely rules me, but I'm trying to show it who is boss. Gidget, that's a great question. An answer I don't have for you. I'm sure there is somebody in here. I bet Nelly would know the answer to this. And if you don't, that's, you know, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you or maybe even Amber would be my go-to on that. But if anybody else has the answer to that question, that would be great. We are all little baby turtles. And I also got footage of those dang pelicans eating them up, doing their little dives. So, I mean, their struggle is real. They're either going to make it or they're going to be food. Yeah. And it's true. It's true. I wish I could pull up that video right now, because that's exactly what I feel like when I was just sitting there watching this little guy. I mean, not only does he have to go what probably seems like forever miles for him to get to the ocean, and then when he finally reaches his destination, he's getting pushed back up again and then pushed back. So, little baby turtles. You got it. My pleasure, John. Alfie, I think people are more comfortable in the lies they've been told than face up to the uncomfortable truth. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss. My doctor told me I would die on carnivore. I really don't want to go to the doctor anymore. They need to learn about nutrition. Yep. I agree. I agree with you. What do they spend? One semester? One semester in nutrition? It's really not very long. I don't even know if it's a semester or just like a grading period or whatever. Yeah, they don't spend nearly as much time. And I'm hoping that with everything that's going on with our government and with RFK, now, look, I can't say he's the best thing since sliced bread. How about since blinds, the blinds. What do you call those things? The blinds. Yeah, your window blinds. Gosh. So he's probably the best thing since then. I don't know. I hope so. I see that he's making changes. They're not as drastic as I think they should be. I think they just need to completely wipe everything out and start fresh. I mean, really, they need to go under a microscope and just really take a look at these companies and their profit over people, over health. I know these things take time, if ever. But, yeah, I don't know. Oh, Josh, that sounds terrible. But good for you. If that gets you through the day, hey, good for you. I will never eat raw chicken. It just seems kind of gross to me. But hey, that's all you, dude. Monument Farms makes a clean, heavy cream, but it's pricey. So there's also one where it's just dehydrated heavy cream, and it too is pricey. I think it's Hoosier Hills. You can get it on Amazon, but it has the flavor. It's not what you would expect. It tastes like Coffee Mate powdered creamer. That's exactly what it tastes like. But yeah, the real deal is going to be expensive. And is it going to whip up like heavy cream? I don't think so. Yeah, right. Exactly. Costco's cream used to be one ingredient last month. When I checked, they added 1% of the carrageenan and stuff. So disappointed. Yeah. You're better off with gelling gum. I did a relatively deep dive into that, just looking for any type of study that shows the gelling gum has adverse reactions on your health, has adverse effects on your health. And I couldn't find any of them. So the gelling gum is better if you have an Aldi or a Lidl nearby. I think one of them is Friendly Farms. It's much less than even like, say, just your local grocery store, their brand, because that usually runs about $7, like Walmart, right? I think it's like 5 something, 6 something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I bought it from there. But Aldi and Lidl, you're going to find their heavy cream only has gelling gum in it, and it is less expensive. So something to think about if you cannot give it up. Yep. The food companies spend billions to make food addictive. Honestly, if I have coffee, I'm putting a little cream in it. Right there with you, Gretchen. I also drink flavored coffee with a matching sugar-free syrup. I didn't get fat with coffee. Amen to that. Amen to that. That's so true. No, it was the cake or the pizza or the burgers and the French fries, right? Yeah. I love those baby turtles too, Gidget. They were just, oh, they were so cute. So cute. And talk about timing. I believe everything is about timing, right? And I was there at the right time. Got to see one nest, and then a few days later, got to see some born, and it was so cool. So cool. Oh, Nellie, Janelle, I knew you would have the answer. I do know the answer, she says. Emulsifiers are used to make the fat and liquid stick together, like a little bit of mustard when you make mayo. An extract is usually made from alcohol and or water. Ta-da! See? That's what I'm talking about. This community is amazing. Hello, Phil. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Still going BBBE. I don't know how, but I am. Just don't even think about it, right? Just keep going. Just keep going. You're doing great. You're doing great. And I don't know. There it is. Okay. The waves are the sad diet and the pelicans are the vegans. Oh, man, I don't know. Yeah. I could see that. Hey, I'm going to... Ormus Farm. Ormus? An MD friend of mine told me she didn't even have one full day of nutrition. It was mentioned and spread out, but not made important. She is diving into it for her continuing education hours. Good for her. That is awesome, because that is one thing. They don't spend enough time on that. And I think maybe a chiropractor would. They're very well aware of the correlation of especially like sugar and how it affects your body, or carbs or whatnot. Not all, but many do. I mean, it's all about, the nerves in your spinal column, and they do a deeper dive into nutrition than your general, your GP. Missy, I'm so glad. Thank you for the live stream. I needed it more than you'll ever know. That makes me happy to hear. I'm glad, I'm here too, because I'm struggling as well. I'm right there with all of you. So we're just the organizers of this. Honestly, Larry and I thought by now, certainly we'll have lost all our weight. Our health problems would be eliminated, right? But it just didn't work out that way. So what has happened with this channel, and I wouldn't necessarily call us a failure channel. Some people would, and that's fine. But, we're not the same. So what makes us different than somebody else who has done it in one run and they never stumble? A lot of these people are younger. Larry and I were in our 50s. So some of these other people, they got on the diet 20 years before we did, in their 30s. So it is a lot easier to lose weight, but we've held on to negative habits for 20 years longer, and it's just harder. So the rut that us and you have dug for ourselves is deeper. And I think so many of us too are dealing with trauma. Like, you guys know our story, right? And that's kind of what I'm chalking it up to, because to be in a spot where you were just so good, and then just to allow it to snowball, which is exactly what I did. I allowed it to happen. And here I am today in this meeting with all of y'all, because I'm in the same boat as many of you. Yeah. Charisse says, I just have a minute to jump in and say hi. It's great to see your beautiful face again. Thank you, Cassie. I did a fat fast today. I was surprised how good I felt. Well, good for you. I'm glad you felt amazing. I'm glad you are. Yes, Frankenfood. On July 1st, Florida became the second state after Utah to ban fluoride. Now, how are they going to do that? Because they're putting it in the toothpaste. It's in the water. It's in other things as well. So also remember last year on your 30-day no cream vid, you mentioned regular cheese. Yes, the cheese, the Pfizer, right? You got to look. You've got to look. Tillamook is solid. And it's funny. I was only buying Tillamook cream cheese because it doesn't have guar and all the other stuff. You go and look at the back of Philadelphia. I can't find real cream cheese anymore. All of a sudden, Tillamook has been taken off the shelves of my local grocery store and any other local one. Now, maybe, no, they didn't have it at Publix, and I thought maybe they would have. So maybe a Whole Foods or a Fresh Market, they might carry the Tillamook and probably $5 a block. But yeah, you can't find clean anything anymore. It's GMO crap. It's all in there. Yeah. Right, Kimmy. Long time no see. And you've been around a long time. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Say they don't spend a lot of time on nutrition, but also who teaches it and where did they get their info? Right. Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. Hey, there you go. I am Erin. I am an addict. It has been 4 days without incident. 120 plus days on the journey. Yeah, good for you. Sam has a question. Q. Hi, Cassie. Have you ever done raw cheese or butter? Yes. Milk. I've done raw milk. Does it make a difference, especially the cheese tastes better in Florida? It's for pets only. So never been to a farmer's market. Yeah, I've had the raw milk. It's really good. As far as cheese, I can't recall that I have bought any. But yeah, they have to label it for pets only because they can't sell it, for human consumption. What is going on? How? That's just crazy. They had to do that at the store over here too. They left a sign, this raw milk. It's for pets only, not for human consumption. Ormus Farm says, right. I started years ago on Carnivore, and I'm so disappointed with myself watching the people who started around the same time and are doing great. I'm happy for them, just disappointed in me. So I hear you. I mean, yeah, I think disappointment. I don't know if that's the word. I'm disappointed in myself, but I am hard on myself when I fall. I mean, nobody's harder on me than I am. And I certainly don't need anybody else verifying, my negative feelings toward myself or enhancing them. I don't need to feel any worse about myself. And I often wonder if Amanda, who's been gone well over a year now, if I know that it was the negative comments that hit her. And she probably thought, where's the love? Where's the support? Just because you're doing something better than I am, it doesn't necessarily mean you're better than I am, right? I mean, especially if you're going to have an ugly, nasty attitude. I mean, good for you. We all of us, all 93 of us who are in here right now, all strive to be that person, have just no incidents. Just do great and feel great, right? Don't need anybody else saying, you're not doing it right. You're doing it wrong. There was a comment that I pulled up when I announced that I was going Ketovore back in February. And somebody had said, and I saved it because that one I thought, you know what? What is wrong with you? Why are you so nasty? Why? And it really wasn't a nasty comment, but it's just the intent behind the comment. It was nasty and it was meant to stick me with a dagger. This person had said, oh, well, you're getting off carnivore just because you want to cheat. And when you come back on, I won't be back. I thought, well, that's nice. Thanks for the encouragement and the support. I mean, people have lost their way. and they're just mean and nasty, and they just try to hurt people. Not everybody, because all of y'all are wonderful. Oh gosh. Check out Azure Standard. Don't support whole paycheck foods. No, I hear you. They are very expensive. Very. Hi, Karen. Glad you made it. Welcome, welcome. And it's good to see you too. It's good to be here. It really is. I missed y'all. Yeah, Amber, you're absolutely right. It is simple, but not always easy. Now, I've had times where it's easy. Never thought that it would be difficult again. Never thought that. Thought, no, I'm never going back to that. There's no way. It's all poison. This food, it's all poison, which wasn't necessarily a good thing, because I had started thinking too much of everything that's wrong with food, including meat. I'm like, they're still injecting them with antibiotics and hormones in the grocery store meat, but I can't afford to get meat from like say the New York butcher shop. Okay, you guys know, some of you know, I worked there for 4 years. I worked for a butcher shop for 4 years, and the only meat that they would bring in, the only beef, was certified Angus beef, which is superior to most anything else out there, unless you're getting it directly from a farmer. It is good. It's as close to family-owned farm on a wide scale that you can get it. Certified Angus beef is non-profit. They're not just more expensive. They just take better care of their animals. They feed them better. They have regular checkups, and they're on a family farm. So it's a bunch of family farms that have come together, and they all decided that they're going to treat their cows well and feed people well with their meat. And it is better meat. It's not that conventional, commercially processed beef that's been injected to high heaven and fed who knows what, living in what kind of conditions. So, but it's expensive. It is much more expensive. Where's Larry? He's here, but I'm here. So if you don't like me, I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. He'll be back. Yeah, in the mountains with Bigfoot. Yeah, we did go to the mountains a couple weeks ago, and that was amazing. It is, Alfie. It's trendy. I don't know. I feel bad for our kids nowadays, because I mean, I'm sure many of us, if not all of us, were bullied at one point as we were kids, and I certainly was. And I learned that behavior, and I pushed it onto somebody else. But yeah, it's different. Like, our kids nowadays, they can't get a break from the bullying. Like, it used to be just in school, right? They'd get bullied at school. They'd go home. Okay, fine. May fear the walk home, that you're going to get beat up. That happened to me once, twice, maybe a few times. But now, because of technology the way that it is, and because people hide behind their screens, because a lot of these people wouldn't say it out loud, but under the guise of anonymity, they will, and they do, and it's ugly. And the hate, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Shell Bell, we are all different on our journeys. You have to stick with what really works for you. The cleaner I eat, the better off I am. I mostly listen to my body, and I don't any longer play with food recipe. Yeah. That has been an issue for me, is playing around. If it's not, the simpler the better. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So I'm going to read a few more comments. I've been going about an hour 20. And then I think I'm going to get off. I've got some things to do. I go back to work tomorrow, and yeah, I got to get back in that routine of Just work. Vacation's over. Gosh, it went by so fast. It went by really, really fast. But, yeah. Penny says, I miss Amanda. Does anyone know how she's doing? She's such a lovely lady, and she worked so hard and came so far. I agree. No, I haven't heard from her. I've reached out to her a couple of times, and I think she just wants to be left alone. I think she's had enough of the bullying, had enough of, in spite of her amazing strides. And she had some amazing strides. She looks like a completely different person. And I worry too. But in spite of all that, and she would slip and fall, and she'd talk about it, and that wasn't good enough for people. The fact that she slipped and fell made her, quote unquote, a loser, or she's not doing it right, or everybody and their unsolicited opinions. And I worry for her. I do. I mean, I hope that she's going to come back better than ever, that she's spent this time working on herself physically and emotionally. And she's going to come back and say, hey guys, look at me. And she's height, weight, proportionate. She's in a great headspace and she's doing great. I hope so. But I'm a little concerned, that being away from the screen and having that accountability removed, I worry that maybe she might have went the other way. I hope not. I really hope not. I would like to see her make this amazing comeback. And and she can just keep inspiring. Yeah. I wish I could afford to eat buffalo from XXX. Buffalo 3 meals a day. I can honestly say I've never had it. I bet it tastes a lot like beef, huh? Yeah. Inspired by Grace. Alfie Boy. People hate for absolutely no reason. I just pray for them. Yes. Forgot to open their eyes to what they are doing. It's definitely not of the Lord. That is an absolute fact. Yes, Larry is still lurking. Hey, Monica. Long time no see. Just got a lunch break from work and was able to click on. I'm glad to see you. Welcome. Hello, Matt. Welcome, welcome. We're about to wrap things up here. But I think I'm going to read these. I've got like 3 more comments, and one is from Larry. Yeah. So let me go back to Sam. It says, yes, great points. Also, some are fixated on grass-fed beef only. And I asked Harry, and he agrees that it just doesn't taste as good. No, it certainly doesn't. I think it is a little more nutritional for you. They're not eating grains, but who knows? I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I've never dove into studies, but and a lot of the times these what's labeled as grass-fed, you think that the animals are going to be treated a little better. They're running on a prairie. No, they're in cages, or trapped, just any conventional cow, and they just dump a bunch of grass on them. So they're not out there in the fields. You need pasture, and not by the government standards, right? Yeah, they can have 3 feet of personal space. That's it. Christine, it's good to see you too. I'll be back. Oh yeah, dude, you're good. If you want to. Jessica, I'm glad you stopped by, and we hopefully you got a little inspo from others. I know I get inspired from all of y'all. I definitely know now I prefer grain-fed. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I was talking about that with somebody at work and talking about the fat content. Like, there's just so much more fat. Why do you think butter is so good? It's fat. Cheese is fat. Fat makes everything taste better. The heavy cream, it makes the coffee taste better because it's fat. And yes, Ormus, you are absolutely right. There are not enough proper studies anyway. You're right. So how do we really know? We don't. So, inspired by Grace. Oh, hey, Larry. You and Miss Cassie have a wonderful day. You're such a blessing. Have a wonderful day. Stay strong. God bless everyone. You're so sweet. Thank you. Have a blessed carnivore day, everyone. Thank you, Delirium Cassie. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Y'all made my day. So, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Members only live. I'm not sure if I can make that. I'm going to try. If I do, great. If not, that's great. But just be on the lookout. I'll be filming my comeback video, I guess you could say, between now and the end of the year. It was great to see y'all. And yeah, I love y'all. Love y'all so much. It was really, really good. I needed this. But thank you. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off with, you guys have a great meat-fueled day and stay strong. Get some movement in if you can. I'm going to try, but no guarantees. But until the next time, y'all, I love you. Thank you. And no sugar, no carbs, no cheating, and eat one steak at a time. Love y'all. Bye.